the sheep, but he eats the sheep and kills them for his own, sufficient needs. But the shepherd leads the sheep and creates a better pasture for all of the sheep, including the wolf outside. So what we have now currently, and what have been dealing with, is sheep led by wolves and sheep led by sheep. What we need is the shepherd. Now, I don't want to connect to the religious shepherd, but that idea that the domesticated livestock, humanity, that's what we are. If we're going to be real, we are livestock. No different than the cows, no different than the pigs, no different than the chickens. We have a different cage and a different system, but we are livestock. And we need to treat the livestock better. Instead of killing the livestock because one wolf doesn't like another wolf, European families don't like Arab families or whatever it is, we need to have all the sheep together. Hopefully, like you said, I'm able to achieve it. I think I will be able to. I have a presence of mind, like you said, that is very unique in the field of politics.
I was 23 years old, and this old gentleman came up to me and he put his hand on my back and he goes, "Brian, there's two types of people. There's sheep and there's shepherd. And from now on, I'm going to call you Shep." Then he followed up "You're going to know what that means one day."
And he was right. Yeah, he was right. You eventually knew. I actually didn't realize my place in politics until I ran for Congress this last time. I've always dreamed of it and talked about it and had my influence and worked. But when I ran for Congress, I had people that came up to me with tears in their eyes and were like, I believe in you. And I didn't expect the true belief that people would have in my run and my ability to try to change. And it changed a lot of the way I see it.
Yeah. I ran for committee person, and the Republican Party threw me off the ballot and challenged me and spent $10,000 fighting me in political court. It's unbelievable until you actually go through the experience. You don't know how co-opted it is by basically repugnant people who shouldn't be there. And you do realize that it is not just saving yourself, it's saving the Republic. And it's being a knight or being a fighter who stands on his feet and just fights. I mean, they're fighting. You have to fight 10 times as hard as they do. I mean, it's a club, and they want to control it.
You guys have heard of Valentina Gomez, right? You've probably heard of her on X and Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
Mexican girl. So she was at speeches that I was at. She was running like right beside me. Me and her we're close to the same age. She's 24. I'm 28. I was 27, 28 now. So we got along quite well. But the other politicians that were there, she would go up and give a speech, and they would group together and would say the most rude, vile things I've ever heard said about a person. Just because she was this 24-year-old Colombian girl, she's an American citizen that was running, but they were talking shit on her. They were saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, she gets up there, she's got a big mouth. I bet she could use that mouth for other things." And I remember just sitting there looking at these old guys disgusted, you are the leadership, you're the competition, and it gave me a new wind to realize that if that's the competition, then I don't have anything that's in my way. It's going to be super easy. They may have money, but I spent $0 versus Jason Smith's $3 million, and I came in second place still. That was just words alone. Second place, words alone. I beat 7 candidates with just words alone.
So you're running for Congress again?
Oh yeah, I'm not going to say yes yet because I can't say yes yet. FEC laws. But let's just say there's an intention, yeah.
So when do you file with the FEC?
That's January, the next coming year, 2026. You have to wait, or it may be October 2025, because that's what I did last time. It was the year before. I filed the day up. I have it on my calendar. I have to go look at it in a minute.
So my friend Max wants me to file and try to primary LaHood here in Illinois. He's a pro-vax Republican who created tons of pro-vax content to get his constituents completely vaxxed up, completely boosted up. So that's going to be one of the linchpins, that I'm going to attack him on, is that he's just basically a big pharma executive publisher and a fake Republican who's crying and screaming about AI entrenchment, as opposed to actually educating our population in basic fundamentals like the Republic, the Constitution, philosophy. I mean, you said your change came from, Christian philosophy, meaning that it's about enlightenment. And like you said, you're saving yourself, and in the process, other people get saved. You know, and so I do look at that Valentina's X account, and she says a lot of like really crazy stuff. Like not crazy in the sense that it's like controversial. Her communication style is intense. It's funny. I think it's funny.
Yeah, she's good. If you wanted to have her on your team to get some attention for yourself, that would be okay. But her, I don't know what it is that she has a lot of control of her campaign. I do too, but she just has not had experience with it, I guess is what it is. Like the video where she gets on there and she's like, "These fucking faggots," you know, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. I say it plenty. I get on Clubhouse. I call people faggots all the time, but it's the message and the way she said it that was different.
Yeah, that's what I say. I think it does come down to intelligence. Like she's cutting edge, but she's not actually really like smart per se. Meaning that when she says these fucking it's like you still need to communicate without vulgarity. You have to. You have to communicate with intelligence.
You can tell that she's following the left-wing narrative, which is if you click narrative points, that's how you gain power. That's what she thought. If I do these things that do narrative points, like the left does, if I call faggots fags, I don't like gays, I do this and that and this and click these points, I'll get power. She doesn't realize it's not how it works on our side. Intelligence, like you said, is what achieves victory.
Hey, Nick. Yeah, she did you see she's suing Zuckerberg and Meta? She claims she's suing them.
Yeah, she does a lot of wild stuff just to try to stay relevant.
Like I saw her last night, literally. Like she gets out of her Tesla, opens the trunk, and pulls out a flamethrower, and it's like the biggest bullshit little flamethrower. You know, it just like sprays out gasoline. It's like basically a super soaker.
Essentially.
Huh?
It's just a butane torch that's in the shape of like a gun. It's not actually a flamethrower. You know what I mean?
Right. Anyways, I hope you know she has built like a business basically in a way. She's like a content creator. And
oh yeah, I definitely tried to ally with her. I do see a use that I could have myself. I don't see her ever gaining political power, but I can see her helping me gain political power.
Yeah, you should definitely. I mean, you utilize her in your campaign.
She's moved to Texas now, where she's trying to piss off. She's hoping to try to like inspire a new like Hispanic group to vote for her, because Missouri wouldn't. And it's just like, as much as she wanted to, she's not born in Missouri. We don't care if you're Mexican or whatever, but you should be born here for us to want to vote for you for a state position. That's just something that's just the way we work.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't understand that part.
Pernell, I don't know if you want to say anything. I don't know if he left. Nick, welcome to I Hate Donald Trump, and I am very angry. Welcome back to the fake deep state Patriots of Clown House.
Who are you guys talking about?
I'm talking with Dr. James here, who hopefully will run for political office again and obtain power and educate the population on why they are so retarded and why they.
Are you talking about the nigger bitch from X?
Which one? Yeah, Valentina.
The Valentina?
Yeah.
Oh, that dumb bitch. She's so fucking stupid.
I know. She's stupid, but she's pretty. You know, she jogs, she goes running, and she wears those cool glasses. So.
No, she's ugly as shit too. That fucking dumb fucking bitch. She needs to go back to Colombia, or like the rest of the other Indians. No, she needs to just get with James Snyder so that me and her can make a super political power couple.
Yeah, I'd bang her.
She's scary. I would never date her. Can you imagine dating that bitch? I doubt that this guy would date anybody from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, Nick struggles in love. Isn't that right, Nick?
Dumb Guadalupe fucking flathead face motherfucking cunt spick.
This is Nick's talk therapy. This is how he thinks he improves himself. Nick, when was the last time you read a book?
Have you heard of Synanon? It is part of the Synanon game.
Synanon?
Yeah, Synanon is a cult. And in the cult, they get in a circle. And in that circle, they yell at each other and insult each other for an hour, and they call it the game. It's what we do on Clubhouse.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to call it a barbecue roast. I think it's technically roasting or self-roasting, because when Marshall speaks, he's actually just like trying to stay afloat, you know? I mean, but...
Can you imagine trying to date Valentina Gomez? Can you imagine trying to, like... Could you imagine
and so maladjusted. It's unbelievable.
So we have a speaker on X named Sparkly Seal. I very rarely get speakers on X. Sparkly Seal, did you want to say something in the God bless Donald Trump and Elon Musk room?
No.
Okay, she doesn't want to say anything.
She said, no, this is really exciting. Our first viewer came in. W viewer. Thanks for talking. No, appreciate it.
You sound like you're from Britain or something. Are you in English? Are you English?
Yeah.
So you live in England? Or,
Yeah.
and what do you think about Donald Trump? Do you like him or do you dislike him?
I think he's a strong leader, but I don't agree with most of his policies.
Interesting.
It sounds like she wants us to go free her from that country that is horrible, that is England.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Make England great again. Make Ireland great again.
She has to say that she's okay. By the way, she is held prisoner. They're not allowed to say what they think.
I think the smartest person in the red pill / black pill space has to be Nick Fuentes. I really believe that. He's probably the most self-aware of what's going on. Totally.
Okay, what was
Why
it?
are you trying to make two different calls? Why is it streamed from there to here?
Because I have Clown House rooms open, which is technically just X Spaces. I don't know if you know what Clown House is. It's like another social audio chat app where low IQ dumb people. Yeah, it's kind of a superior platform in a way, but it's really just low IQ dumb people who talk about nothing and waste their time all day long. And so,
I'm just joining the space on Twitter instead.
because I'm connected to these people on this app, we know each other.
We've been on this audio space app for 5 years before Twitter Spaces was out, so we have like a community here. But anyways, like, and by the way, Twitter Spaces, I was in their town hall the other day. They still have bugs they're working on it as well, and it's not all there yet.
It's pretty good.
And it's impossible to get on a stage and be heard. Everybody
Yeah.
on Twitter Spaces is
Agreed. It's impossible.
What the hell do I know? I'm just Indian with Down syndrome.
So, Dr. Sparkle, is there? What are you doing the rest of your afternoon there or evening in London town?
I actually haven't got anything to do. I went out yesterday and I'm going to church tomorrow morning, so I'm going to have a rest day.
Are you Anglican?
No, I'm Protestant, but I think I'm going to go to a Catholic church.
Oh, wow.
Don't do it. Stay Protestant.
Stay Protestant, Dr. James says.
No, I like being Protestant, but it's just that I went to a Catholic church for a Founders Day service or a school, and it was really nice.
Catholic churches are lies. It's just nothing. That's a structure that's created to support the king alone. It's a
I
royal
feel like
structure.
Anglican is closer to Catholic than it is Protestant.
How old are you, young lady?
19.
Well, I wish you well. I encourage you to read a lot of books over the next, 10 years of your life. I mean, you should read literally 2 hours a day, outside of your other educational studies. And, the best place to go is a library. Go to the spiritual, psychological section and read the sacred texts if you can find any. Because what you're really doing is studying psychology and the self, and you'll liberate yourself from all of the conditioning and bullshit propaganda that you have been subjected to and that you will be subjected to. It's just never ending. Yeah, that's my advice for you.
Okay.
So how?
13. I'm not speaking to her any longer.
No, she's 19. So how did you come across this room? Did you go to the tab on X and just go through the available spaces, and then you saw the God bless Donald Trump and Elon Musk room?
I think I searched up Trump.
Oh, you searched Trump and came across this room. Interesting.
I look for the
One thing I hate about Twitter Spaces is it's hard to search for Twitter Spaces.
Yeah.
Well, you can click on the left-hand column and then go to spaces and then view all the available spaces.
Yeah, but it shows really boring, massive ones that I'm not going to be able to speak in.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
happens.
the first 100 rooms are like, NASDAQ. Bull crap like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I think I've
Is
been joining
cryptocurrency going up?
crypto ones.
What I love about Clown House is that when there's a public space, and you can just unmute and join the conversation. I love that ability, how you can just like essentially get into people's brains immediately, troll them, upset them, and then they kick you. Like it's basically Elon Musk calls it cognitive security, but creating a room that you can't control opens you up to cognitive intrusions. And that's why I love Clown House, because like you said, on X you can't get on a stage, but on Clown House you can go. Sometimes these people become social and they open up a public social room, and you're able to get in there and deliver the package, and leave them in a state of total chaos. And like that is basically like a cognitive attack in a way. And in Clown House you can do that, and I think that's what makes the app more fun and dynamic, is these random wild cards that come in and antithesize or play the opposite of what the project or propaganda that they're projecting is. That's kind of the great thing about Clown House.
It's like a psychological dirty bomb. You go into the room that's public, explode the ideology, and then when they kick you out, the ideology is left in remnants all across the room.
How do you spell
The same way a dirty bomb works.
How do you spell what?
Clown House? I can't find it online.
Oh, it's called Clubhouse.
It's Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. I call it Clown House.
We just call it Clown House.
Clubhouse, yeah. Create a profile on there. Create a profile on there. Believe me, if you're a hot 19-year-old, you'll be a superstar on this app. You'll have like 2,000 followers overnight.
Can I finger bang you?
Is it like an incel thing?
What?
Yellow waving hand in the app
Like
store.
most of the people on there incels.
Yeah, there's a lot of incels on this app.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Oh, yeah, but they're not. But
It's not for incels, no.
It's not an incel holding, facility.
You're going to find more black supremacists than anything.
Yeah. If you haven't met American Blacks yet, this is the Blacked Out app. It is super black, super American Black. You're going to meet.
Also, a lot of Jews.
Oh, you're going to meet a lot of
Thank
Jews.
you. By the way, yes, I thought it went without saying, but we have a lot. I came to the app actually for Jewish Clubhouse, and I stayed for Jewish Clubhouse. And yes, there's also Black Clubhouse. And the other day, by the way, I went with my Jewish friends into Palestinian Clubhouse. I led the way as a shepherd, and we argued with them.
I think everybody could, respond to that individually. I don't know everybody's religious affiliation.
Are you Jewish?
My mother is Goyjus, and my father is a Yiddishkeit.
Okay.
Make this a mistake.
I'm a Mishling, is what they call me. I'm a patrilineal Jew.
Fucking Michelin.
I'm a Mishling
All I know is we'll have a
patrilineal.
lot more fun over here because you'll be allowed to talk a lot more.
Yeah.
Do you guys like Donald Trump because he likes Israel?
That's not why we like Donald Trump, but I like that he likes Israel, because there's so many Jew haters on this app. There's so many Jew haters in the real world that, it's a magnificent thing to have a president who is the antithesis to these low IQ people that live with hate in their heart. And they don't live with the love of the law in their heart. They live with hate on their mind 24/7.
Yeah, the left wants us to go back into old world tribalism where we pick European tribes or we pick Jewish tribes or Arab tribes, where Donald Trump has the vision that we are all one tribe, Americans, and that America's in charge. And that's the reason why him leading Israel, making them subjects of that one tribe, is the best option that we can have. I think it's a beautiful thing.
Right.
So,
If you look at the European tribes, for example, we have 2 world wars that took place over 4 cousins who had disagreements on who was the better cousin. And that's the rest of us dying so that these cousins can prove themselves and their kingdoms as strong and powerful and beautiful. where on our side as the Republic, we are just all citizens. It's a beautiful thing to be a citizen. And in your country, where the UK, you live under one of these tribal kings, and that is King Charles. That's the Angles and the Saxons have combined together, and they've dominated the Franks and the Visigoths and the Goths and all these other groups. And to combine and create one kingdom. That's what their purpose and goal is of Europe, is to create one dominant tribal kingdom above the other tribes of Europe, where America has the opposite goal, where none of the tribes should rule at all.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty accurate assessment. It's kind of wild to think that, that the king, it's amazing that there are still kings and queens out there that literally have the frame and the mindset that we are not just administrators of the state. We are the family that runs and rules this state. It's in many ways, it's kind of like an amazing thing that the herd population surrenders its will to the will of a king and queen. It's pretty far out. I mean,
well, the scariest part is like the French Revolution, where they were able to knock a king down. The Bolsheviks were able to knock a king down. There's a bunch of kings that have fallen, and they've all been mostly absorbed into the House of Windsor now, where it's the UK king. But the reason they got knocked down is because they were not connected religiously to a faith structure. But that's the reason why King Charles, Queen Elizabeth, and the UK kingship continues to go, because they adopted themselves as the head of a church.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have seen is that these religious monarchies have become to exist. They have conformed religion to their existence alone, where for you to be a supporter of God, you have to support them as a king. They are royal bloodlines, and that's the only way. They've manipulated faith into a tool for their existence, where on our side, the Protestant side, which is why I tell you to be a Protestant, that's not there. The kings don't really matter. In fact, we like presidents and stuff. It's not necessarily a requirement for even Jesus to come back and be a king, just a leader. It's just a word to describe his position of leadership, not an actual title.
Well, anything else you want to say, Dr. Sparkles?
Why are you calling me Dr. Sparkle?
I don't know. Isn't your name Sparkly?
Sparkly Seal.
We're all doctors in here. That's the reason why he says that. By the way, we're not doctors, but we are doctors when we're in here.
Okay. I'm not a doctor.
You are today, Dr. Sparkle.
But you're still required to say you're not a doctor. Yes, correct. I'm not a medical doctor. However, I'm Dr. Brian, a fictional character in this room.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a medical doctor, nor am I a professor of anything, but I am Dr. James.
Because I'm actually a doctor of natural science, and I'm also a doctor of magic son, but I'm not a doctor of medicine. I'm also Dr. Medicine son. But
no, that's just the official title of everybody who enters a room with doctor here, is that you are now doctors as well.
See, on Clown House, a lot of retarded people like to call themselves doctors. And many of these retarded doctors are what we call vaccinologists or abortionists. And they love to parade around their title, doctor. Thus, I too am a doctor.
I'm vaccinated.
I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, hi, Jessica. Welcome to I Hate Donald Trump, and I am very angry. Well, I would now like to move us to the musical portion of this podcast in the Deep State Patriots. Since we're talking to such a beautiful, lovely English flower, I would now like to play for you a sample of medieval English polyphony. Here we go.
Citizen.